Flyover State of Film was shot in front of a live studio audience.
Too hard. It seems like a lot of work.
All right,
Whatever.
All right.
Just get this rolling.
It's recording, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Keep it in. Keep all this
Oh, this
in.
is all
This is
good
natural.
stuff, guys.
Because baby, we're natural.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 57 of Flyover State of Film. I figure I start this episode out with saying some positive things of my group. Guys, we got the Father of the Year in the group, Brian. We've got the Husband of the Year, going to Yusef. And then we got Joe. Everybody, welcome to Flyover State of Film. How my boys feeling?
Full disclosure, guys, I spent like most of the evening fighting with my child tonight. He was being a real pain in the ass. Harrison, if you're watching this, sorry that you're being such a pain in the ass.
I don't love you.
I
Joe,
do love you,
to,
but man, come on.
Yeah, Joe's a week away from being a husband. How's that feel, my guy?
It's fun. That's there.
Well, by the time this comes out, you will be a husband, so there you go.
Yeah. No.
And Yusef, you're just keep.
You have time to escape, Joe. I'm kidding.
She has time to escape.
Yeah. Yes. Also, some sort of hacky joke about marriage being a prison. I don't know.
Oh, right.
Women be shot.
Oh, speaking of my wife news, did you see they're going to make another Borat, apparently?
Oh, it's already filmed, apparently.
Yeah.
It's done, been made. They're just shopping it around. Is that the case?
No.
My wife.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty much the only funny thing he's ever done.
No,
that's not fair because he did that show where he embarrassed all those politicians. That was good.
Well, I think it's just going to be like that, where it's just like more of like, look at MAGA, but in Borat form. But those MAGA people loved Borat, so...
He's going to say it in Spanish this time to be diverse. He's like, mi esposa.
He's going to have to have come up with something because he's kind of recognizable now. Like, if somebody came up to you and they were doing it, you would either think it was him or think it was somebody doing a dated impression. You'd be like, really? We're doing Borat again?
I bet he could get away with it like very, very small hick towns.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Or young,
that would
or
be,
maybe
prime
super young people.
Yeah.
You could get millennials, not millennials, like Gen
if you
Y
can get them away from their phones, am I right? Millennials.
Right, my guy.
They don't know that Borat gifs. Borat in the meme form.
I don't think there's any much more news than that, right? There's nothing else that happened.
Nobody cares. Nobody even cares about that. That's barely news. I just wanted to talk about.
I feel like all movie news right now too is like they're gonna make this, and I'm just thinking, sure they are. All right, what 2025?
Yeah. Sorry, we're on hold right now. And Tenet basically proved that there's no point in releasing your movie in the theater now.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy it flopped. I'm so fucking happy.
I do. So
him and Tom Cruise can go fuck themselves.
I'm pretty sure you're the only one who saw it, right?
I don't care the movie. I don't even care if the movie's good or bad or whatever. But it's like the hubris and the kind of like pomp and circumstance of being like, my movie must be seen in the theater and I will not wait. You know, it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, that movie would have did gangbusters if it was dropped for rental.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be like, holy shit, $20 new Christopher Nolan.
I still wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah, I would have. But I really hope, I've said this before on this podcast, the one movie I hope next month gets dropped on digital is Candyman.
They already said
they
no.
did. They're doing it with Antebellum.
said-
That Antebellum's
Yeah.
coming to digital.
Yeah.
They said
I love
no. So
Why did you bring up that one, Brian? Because it's another black horror.
Right.
That's
other
only
black
that's
movie
the
that was
only
supposed
thing
to-
you saw,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's why the
yeah.
other one.
the other
That's why.
Dark
That's
Meat.
what made me think of it. No, it was just
It-
another big release that I saw going to digital.
Sure.
Yeah.
Antebellum. The other Dark Meat.
Well, I
You
was
know.
gonna say, because of the Black Horror franchise, we could all talk about our favorite childhood franchises, or no, favorite childhood movies to revisit, because there's no news to start.
Yeah, so we're just gonna roll through these.
No one said you can go yet, Joe. Relax.
Wow, this TJ just came angry at me today.
As of right now, I'm rolling through all of them. Write down the thing that I've mentioned multiple times on this page. I'm not even going to go. We've talked about them. Airborne, Explorers, Goonies. Yeah, see that? There's Mac and me. Guys, Joe, tell me about yours.
Oh, thank you. My number one childhood movie.
Go straight into honorable mentions. Don't even say yours.
Honorable mentions, Little Giants. Check out our flyby. No, it's heavyweights. It'll always be heavyweights. Every time we do this question, it's going to be heavyweights. And I think but I've talked so much about heavyweights where it's like the current day's humor, but like back then with the kids, and it blends so well. I'll parking lot that, and I want to give a spooky suggestion for
Don't scare me, Joe.
Season is there's this movie I loved as a kid growing up. It's pretty hard to find, called When Good Ghouls Go Bad, and it's basically Footloose but with Halloween, and it starts a zombie Christopher Lloyd as the fun uncle.
Oh shit!
The movie slaps. It was premiered on Fox Family.
Yep.
It's pretty hard to find, but that is I revisit that about every Halloween.
What's the name of it again?
When Good Ghouls Go Bad. It's for kids. It's straight up
game norm.
But heavyweights is the true answer. That movie is balls to wall funny. That's what it says on the DVD cover.
I feel like I've seen that before.
Heavyweights?
I feel like it was called something else though. Wasn't Christopher Lloyd in it?
No, he's done a few things.
Camp Nowhere.
Gotcha. Oh, I love Camp Nowhere, Brian.
This is an R.L. Stein book. It's literally Footloose. It's Footloose, but with Halloween.
Kevin Bacon's on it, and I don't want to hear about it.
No bacon penis.
What do you got, Brian?
Well, since TJ so casually threw Goonies to the side, I feel like I have to come up with something else. But Goonies is probably the truest answer. Yeah. But I also I just revisited in July, and it's one of those ones that I always try to recommend because who doesn't love a forgotten Disney movie? But fucking Flight of the Navigator, man. It's a really cool, interesting kind of time travel story, and alien, kid buddies up to an alien, a cool spaceship. It's just a really cool, fun. I don't know why it never hit big, but it's always been a favorite of mine.
I love kids and I love aliens.
It's not one of those ones that would have been a hit.
Let's take that clip out of context. Save it for later.
Brian, isn't that one of those ones that is always considered on those lists of would have been a hit today?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if I've seen it mentioned specifically, but I would have. I could see why.
Or am I thinking of The Rocketeer?
Oh, you're definitely The Rocketeer is one that people like.
I've never seen The Rocketeer.
Neither have I.
Yeah,
I feel like I've only seen it once, and
I only saw it a long time ago though. But I remember it decent.
Another one I haven't seen in a while that I saw a long time ago when I was a kid that everyone still talks about today, weirdly, is Dick Tracy.
Yeah, that has made a resurgence of people being and I never liked it. It's
just weird enough that people can kind of get into it. You know what I mean? I think it's it's all the weird prosthetic makeup and they really went hard with the colors palette on it and stuff.
Today we don't care about Madonna being in it or what was it, Al Pacino or something.
That was one of my first.
Al Pacino, Dustin Hoffman, and
Beatty.
It was a.
So I'm saying it has a very cast of its time.
Yeah, it's a good cast. My pick was the Iron Giant.
Oh,
that's a phenomenal one.
That's probably
that's one I got into more when Harrison was little. Actually,
yeah,
I used to watch that all the time. That was one of his early favorites. So I got more into it when I was older because it came out in 1999. That was my childhood. I don't know about you, but I was a fucking fan.
That was my childhood.
I was in like middle school.
11 to 12-year-old.
But that was like one of the last cartoons right before that not the resurgence, but like the surge of like all the Pixars and like
Toy Story had already came out and
3D animation.
That was like hand drawn is still good.
Yeah.
But it also has a lot of like computer tricks within it that make it.
Oh yeah, especially they do a lot of
out.
stuff with the giant and everything.
Yeah, and it's probably Vin Diesel's best work. Honorable mention, Big, Tom Hanks. That movie.
I used to watch Big a lot when I was a kid. I haven't watched it in a long time though.
I every now and again pop it and
Batman Forever.
Yeah, Batman Forever is actually pretty good. Batman Returns. All those old Batmans.
Yeah. Honestly, Austin Powers. I'm serious. I watched so much as a kid.
In a long time.
So much as a kid.
It held up ish.
They're not for kids, but like that was my childhood. The third one,
not so much, but I'd still enjoy the first two.
Yeah. If you guys want to like me explained, it's because I grew up watching Big Mama's House and Austin Powers and like Blue Streak.
That's why you don't understand classic comedies like Drowning Mona.
Yeah. I wasn't hitting that. I wasn't being 9 years old.
Too highbrow for him. I got it now. I finally figured it out.
I was actually watching National Security. I texted you guys, and then I realized that Martin Lawrence really dipped into being a cop a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 5 different movies that he's a cop in.
We got Blue Streak, National Security,
Big Mama,
Bad Boys.
This is all
Black Knight.
Tell that too. Also before.
He was a pool cleaner or No, he worked at like doing like the maintenance at the amusement park. That's why he got transported into the world.
All right, so do we have a topic this week or something?
No, man. We're talking about Lawrence. We're talking about Martin Lawrence. No. We're trying to think of the 5th movie where he was a cop.
Did TJ say his? Did you say yours, or you're not gonna say yours?
Yeah, the list went before we even went.
He took all the good ones.
Brian, you can start off this week. I think I remember what your topic is.
No, my topic.
Steph's topic. Then fine.
Sequel to a movie you love that you hate. This is a pretty broad topic on purpose, so we can talk about different movies. My pick, I have 2. Number 1 that I put here is RoboCop 3. Just such a
flyover classic.
Yeah, it's something that did not make it into our bracket.
The worst list, guys. Check out our bracket.
I feel like there was a shot taken there.
It's just that the first one is such a untouchable classic. The second one is fun, and then it's like a fucking car crash in the third one. Like, it's so rough to go from those 2 to that one.
Yeah, there is a really big dip. That's true.
And the other one is more of I know Brian doesn't like this movie, but Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, that's my answer.
That's your. Go ahead, Joe.
Don't even mention it. It's the worst fucking movie ever. It's so bad. It hurts me to this day to even think that it was made because you have 20 years, and I still stand by. You could have written a fun movie of like if they let them age, but they said no. You're gonna be
Dumb and Dumber 2 or Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and.
No, I'm talking about Dumb and Dumber when they.
No, I'm going with Dumb and Dumber 2 because Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Time out.
The one where they said, you know what, we're gonna recast the only thing that worked in the first movie. The only reason why.
That's good because now Joe can still talk about the other one.
Yeah. So
and I can add that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing. Dumb and Dumber is a bad movie. But it's like fine, like you could, since it doesn't include the original cast or anything, you could be like, it is what it is. There's a good Bob Saget bit. There's like shit on the walls. It's bad. I don't want to like demean that it's not. It's literally not worth space. But Dumb and Dumber 2 is we got the gang back together, and what we gave you is worse than Jay and Silent Bob reboot, but it's like the same thing.
That was bad.
Hey, but worse. And why I always thought it was like even worse. Sitting there in the theater, like, okay, my thoughts were right from the trailers. This is just awful. Is they took these fun, lovable characters, didn't age them like mentally,
like progress
them, progress them even a little bit. They just said, okay, they're literally frozen in 1992, and boom, we're in 2014 or whatever, and they're gonna wear the same clothes and everything, and they're just mean now. It's not like like before there was like a dumb ignorance, right? They're not dumb, they're mean. It's like, haha, I'm fucking you over on this. And we all know how much I love Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber 2, I don't even like to talk about it, guys. It hurts me. It hurts me to this fucking day.
That franchise taking a beating. Maybe it's because the first movie is also bad. All right.
Not to go there.
Right.
And Big Mama's House, like Father Like Son, is just also my pick before you even mentioned Dumb and Dumber 2, because I didn't even pick it because it blocked out of my head.
Oh wow. I don't think I ever saw like Father Like Son. Brian, what did you pick?
Oh man, I have a couple here. Because I'm a franchise guy, like that's the thing. I'll get committed to a franchise and like so I will ride it out and I'll do the whole roller coaster. So like I mean, obviously you got like your Jaws 4, right?
Yeah.
Terrible, just terrible. And I like Jaws 2, and I have nostalgia for 3. So 4, real bad.
We'll watch.
Terminator Genesis is one that hurt me really bad. I'm like, come on, man, this is just.
Dark Fate was overrated.
Rising. Anybody Hannibal Rising?
Oh,
it's gross. So goddamn bad.
Walked out of the theater.
And then I asked Yusef too. I was like, are we talking any sequel in the franchise or immediate sequel? And before he answered me, I came up with what my like immediate sequel, as in followed the following movie. One movie I really liked, and then the movie directly after it was bad. And I know not everybody agrees with me, but I really liked X-Men Days of Future Past, and then X-Men Apocalypse.
Wolf.
Wow, that's a rough one.
That movie makes me so fucking angry because
it's funny because Dark Phoenix is actually better than Apocalypse, but they killed the franchise so hard it didn't matter.
There was no coming back.
I don't know if you talk about this, but like Apocalypse, the cast itself.
Yeah.
Talk about a cast you bring in that get you excited, like Oscar Isaac's fucking Apocalypse. And you're like, yes. And they're like, all right, we're bringing back Cyclops. We're bringing back fucking Jean Grey is young. We're going to give you even fucking a young Nightcrawler and a young Jubilee. Mind you,
cut Jubilee into it. We're going to like redo this. Yeah.
And Storm.
Oh man, I forgot how bad they was. And remember Psylocke is in that too?
Yeah.
Olivia Munn's like, did she get her tongue cut out? Did she not have any lines?
You just can't act.
They even recasted Caliban in Logan.
Right, with, like immediately. Those came out the same year, and they were like, there's no cross continuity. They just did not pay attention.
I mean, you did get a I mean, not a better Storm, but you did get more of an accurate Storm in the young
sure. I liked the girl and I liked the casting, and when they let her do something, it was cool. But like, she just again, like they packed so much in.
Yep. The best thing is
it's such a hot button one. It is bad. Though. It's very bad.
The best
if they would have done it, if they would have done it like fucking badass, they could have even done a crossover where she goes to Wakanda and play out that storyline.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Right.
What's
they forced an Archangel in that. They forced so much crammed into that movie.
That brings me like some famous ones. Like one of the biggest disappointment before mentioned on Flyover, like biggest disappointments in my growing up to the theaters is Spider-Man 3's released.
Yeah,
is
a rough one.
Is like being so like and X3, but I like
being a '90s kid who was like really into Venom too. Like,
it was like so ready, and it sounds weird. It sounds odd too. Like they also promoted Spider-Man 3 in the movie Knocked Up that summer too, because those characters had already seen Spider-Man 3. If you watch Knocked Up, it's a big promo for Spider-Man 3.
That's weird.
Such a weird.
Like
I don't remember that. I don't remember Knocked Up.
Katherine Heigl works at E, so she's interviewing James Franco, who is friends with all of them, and he's talking about it. But then all the other characters, like, I'm going to see Spider-Man 3, like it's just a weird like back.
I haven't revisited Knocked Up at all.
Anyway, but not even burying that, like, it just meant like Spider-Man 3 was like out there that year. Like it was like, so by the time I got to see it, that's another. There's so many and famous ones like Speed 2 Cruise Control. I think that's the most
I think
famous.
that should fall more into
I
like
fucking love that movie.
one that we knew should never have been made. Like as soon as you knew
Yeah.
Keanu wasn't coming back, you got to scratch it. Sorry, no offense to Sandy, but like you can't
No
just.
offense to who was the Sean Austin Green or whatever? Who was the
Jason
guy?
Patrick's in it.
Oh yeah, lots of boys.
Yeah.
He lost his hair. TJ, did you pick anything?
I do have one. Brian Semi mentioned it, but this is also a third in a franchise where the first movies are probably easily goes down in film history. Two separately also too. One's actually semi horror, the other one's action. So like Terminator 1, Terminator 2, two of the best sci-fi films. You could put them in any category you want.
Oh
But
yeah.
fucking
According to the babysitter. Never mind.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Rise of the Machines. I don't give a shit about Jenny Smith. Jenny Smith falls way after it. But fucking Rise of the Machines. I went into the movie theaters so excited to see this.
Yes,
And then they mocked the entire first scene from T2 where he comes out and he's like, it's a gay bar. And then it's like he puts on the star glasses and they're just like, and he takes them off. You're like,
Elton John's playing.
I see. I for a long time actually like enjoyed Rise of the Machines. It wasn't until I went back a few years later and was like, "Oh my, this is quite bad."
It's just like one of those fucking movies where it's just it was too late for when it should have came out in the first place. If you were ever gonna do it, I don't know if James Cameron wasn't attached to it. I don't fucking know.
He was a producer, like
He's been producer on all of them. I think.
I'm sure he fucking loved it when he saw it before anybody else.
What he loved is the big fat check he got when it came out.
But it's like
straight up in his contract, like in invisible ink, is anytime you do an interview, you love this movie.
Right.
You have to say it finally captures the original.
You have to say this is the true sequel to Terminator 2, no matter what.
You get a drugged out John Connor, which is I feel like they were taking shots at Eddie Furlong at that point too. You're just like, come on, relax, leave the kid alone.
Yeah, but then that actor also fell into.
Yeah, Nick Stoll also had spiraled out. Like
really.
You get an older Claire Danes who was in like TV or didn't get her TV break now yet. It's just like one of those movies. You're like, what are we doing here? Why are we here? If Arnold is the biggest part of this movie, the biggest star of the movie, and he says like 4 things, and like his biggest joke is talk to the hand now, and you're like, God damn it!
It was 10 years old at that point too.
He did put up his own money to make that sweet ass car chase though. That one with the truck.
That was kind of sweet. That was cool. And then you got
and then you have this like T2 had that amazing truck chase, and every single fucking sequel since has had a fucking truck chase.
Even Salvation, for as much that they try to do things differently in Salvation, like almost everything in Salvation is different except there's a truck chase and Arnold's in it. Well,
wait, Arnold put up his own money for that chase?
In the in T3, it's to do the big practical effect where he like smashes the crane through the building and it like cuts. Yeah, they wanted to do that CGI, and he was like, no, and he paid for it.
Oh, that's cool.
See, like that's what I'm saying. Like these Terminator movies, I obviously can do 1, I can do 2. I love that new one that just came out that Tim Miller did, so I could put that as a 3rd one, and I'll even throw Salvation in there as a 4th one. I'll keep Jenny Smith out, and I'll keep fucking Rise of the Machines out. You got a solid 4-movie franchise right there, where it's just
enough movies.
Yeah, you're good.
I've been revisiting the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and it is all right.
There you go.
I have a question for the group, on about this topic. Is it more disappointing when a smaller movie gets a sequel and it's terrible? Like something that's like it was like, oh, that's a good movie, and then they were like not supposed to have a sequel. Then it has a sequel, and the sequel's not that good, and like a Kick-Ass or something like that. And you're like
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, like you should have just left it alone. And it don't have to be action movie. Like I'm sure there's other like comedies or horror or something that do this too. But
I mean, we've definitely talked, movies that should have been left. I know what you mean, though. That we're not talking about that, But
yeah.
And I guess, it's not like Pacific Rim, the first one was like a small independent movie or anything.
Neither is Kick-Ass.
It was made for $5.
Yeah, but it's like, also, it's one of those things where it's like, maybe if you can't get the original people back, then just don't do it, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did that with, like, Sandlot. They're just like, we'll do Sandlot 2. We'll go back in time, but now it's more.
A lot of those nostalgic ones are like that. They're bad, like a
There's
bad
Mean
Christmas
Girls
Story
2.
sequel and stuff too.
There's a Mean Girls 2.
Yeah, fuck that.
There's American Psycho too.
Oh, with Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a myth.
No, that's real.
Oh, you were trying to do a segue. I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then
It's not my
fucking
show to
read
take
it, man.
Fucking go with it, man.
There's myths in films, and films have myths, and myths has
Myth.
five letters in it. Yusef, your name has
No, it's
5
Brian.
letters in it.
Brian,
Go
ahead.
Brian. Fuck.
Okay, yeah, this was my topic, and I feel like the real theme of this episode is like, fuck it. The questions are so wide open, you can basically talk about whatever you want.
It's an early episode of Flyover film.
We're just like, it's fine. It's fine. But like, I guess when I was thinking about myths, specifically, I was thinking about things, I don't know. It was topical because I was thinking about how this is George Lucas presents Howard the Duck, right? And everybody always talks about George Lucas when they talk about Howard the Duck. But like, also he didn't direct it. And like that whole, I was thinking about the myth of the producer presents thing where you got like, it was big. Quentin Tarantino did it a bunch in the early 2000s. Guillermo del Toro does it. You know, they'll present. So like people kind of get, and the general public seems to kind of like just be like, oh, well, I saw that name associated. Usually the person's name they talk about is a director. So that must be the director. So that must be a new Guillermo del Toro movie. And it's like, no, he like kind of tacitly endorsed it and bought it at a festival and released it under their, you know.
So I mean, that's what before Christmas.
Right.
I used to make that joke, like, from the people that did not do anything on the previous movie you liked comes this movie.
And so I guess that was the way I was thinking about. But I'm open to any kind of myths, whether it's something you thought as a kid. Like when I was a kid, and I would see pictures of like the child versions of adults in movies, I'd be like, how did they get those? Did they have to like wait and like did they take those pictures as kids and then like have to just grow up and wait for this movie to get made? So it could be something like that too.
Boy, that's every movie.
Okay, so I read this question different, but Yusuf, you start.
Yeah, go ahead, Yusuf.
No, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just kidding.
I used to really believe that Disney cut off his head and it was frozen underneath Disneyland.
That's fair. I'm not 100% sure that's not true, honestly. I'm not ready to debunk that one.
And then I that's kind of one of my favorite jokes about Futurama. Like everybody had cut up their own heads and they're like in fish tanks and they keep living for the rest of their lives as fucking heads in a fish tank bowl. But yeah, that's literally the only, because you know the other ones, like we did this question-ish before, and we mentioned the Munchkins committing suicide.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down because that's literally what I believed, like what I thought was real.
Yeah,
or like stopping the VHS tape and so grainy. You're like
the Ghost in 3 Men and a Baby. That one.
Yeah, we had this topic for
the fan-fucking-tastic point, Joe.
That's a classic point, Joe.
Classic joke. But the other one that I wanted to talk about is that for a while, for some fucking reason, not everybody, dumb people, believed Paranormal Activity was real. Like it was an actual police evidence videotape.
Yeah, you mean the whole of the Learning Channel? You mean?
You know what? The funniest shit about that though is going to happen again at some point because it's like Blair Witch.
Well, people thought Blair Witch, yeah, exactly.
People still will tell you Blair Witch is a real movie, like because it's in that zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. And probably this is a dumb person issue that I can't connect because I'm not that dumb. But people don't understand that why would the police not only distribute that film, but edit it and add special effects and add sound design and add credits and cut a trailer
That
and
was
get
what
a
I always thought
producer.
about the Blair Witch. That was like the first thing that should have thrown you about the Blair Witch is like, if these people are really missing and this is possibly like footage of their deaths, what do you think they just like turned it over and were like, hey, make a movie out of this. Go ahead and make money off of it. Like, what kind of fucking
Spread
ghouls are
awareness.
you?
Yeah,
I was
spread
listening
awareness,
to
please.
I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about one of the lead from Blair Witch, and they were like, at the time she went to like an improv show to watch, and she was mobbed by paparazzi, but like not in the way of like we want to know what you're up to, of like, are you real?
They were like, we found you. We found
Yeah.
Heather. She's alive.
Yeah,
The
but
witch
that's gonna
from
happen
Pinto.
again. That's gonna happen again. There's gonna be like a TikTok series of like horror thing, like, was this real?
Oh, dude, the scariest movie that I've seen this past couple of days is the Netflix movie, that Social Media Dilemma, and how the algorithm alters your feed and just continuously feeds you what you're accustomed to viewing, and that's how Pizzagate and all those conspiracy theories groups grow.
Yeah, I haven't
and
watched
grow.
that yet. I kind of like.
So yeah,
like-
100%. It's gonna be another fucking group where they're gonna show up to for Bill Gates' house and shoot them because they saw a movie that is real and he did some shit.
Someone was
but
like,
yeah.
I'm being creative
Yeah.
and edited with my iPhone.
Right?
DJ Myth.
I hate all of the Disney old animated myths. All of them.
Sex,
dick.
baby.
That shit is it's some of the dumbest things. Like, oh, the guy's a boner who marries fucking Prince Eric and so. Like, no, if you see his pants beforehand, they go like this.
Yeah,
around
it's like
his
he's got like
knees.
knobby knees or something.
The Rescuers one is real though.
The Rescuers one is legit. That one exists.
So
The
what
titty
one?
frame. So a
Yeah, there's like
disgruntled
there's a scene
editor.
in the Rescuers where they're flying through a city and like they're flying past a building.
Wait, hold on.
in
What's
one of
the
the
Rescuers?
windows. It's
Oh,
about
dude, you said
ice
all the old
salt
movies.
times.
That's not a classic Disney movie. All right,
Yeah,
don't
it
tell me
is.
about your
It is.
goddamn.
Oh yes, it is.
No, get out of
It's like
here.
late 70s, early 80s.
No, don't
And
like
then they
it.
made the Rescuers Down Under. It has a legit sequel that went to the theater. That was
It's-
nearly part of the Disney Renaissance. It just didn't get
Ryan.
the attention.
It's not a classic if it doesn't have live action.
Chippendale. Wait, is Chippendale in it?
No Chip and
I
Dale.
like
It's,
Chippendale
it's
though.
Bernard and Veronica or whatever.
That's
her name is.
see. Okay. Anyway,
Anyway, back to your point. Like you're talking about like the dick on the Little Mermaid cover.
they're just
Golden
phallic
dildo.
palaces, man.
Yeah,
They
it's
just
just a
look like
phallic palace.
yeah. There's nothing we can do about that. And then like
Dude, you fucking draw Ariel for 100 days in a row and not draw a penis. You do that once. It's gonna happen.
Bunch of
No,
guys,
okay,
bunch of
so
grown
yeah.
men that were like, "Yes, this 16-year-old girl should wear just bra cups." Yes.
not to shame
You-
Brian's pick of the Rescuers and say like, okay, you can definitely have disgruntled editor fucks around, does some shit to it.
Yeah.
But like the Lion King Sex in the Clouds thing, where it's just the SFX logo, people are like, oh, it says sex. The part in Aladdin where supposedly Genie says, "Take off all your clothes, kids." I've sat there in high school with a bunch of people when surround sound first fucking came out. and
Hoping that everybody takes their clothes off and they
Right, you
don't.
were trying to
It's like,
hypnotize the kids you were
Yes.
It's
Well,
busted. Kids,
we were
go
all-
home.
we were all kids in
Oh,
high
yeah,
school.
we were okay.
But like that shit, like
Oh, dude, cut the tape. Put the clip in here now where you said, "I love
gotta-
kids." Right here,
I have to
boom.
buy my old
I
Nokia.
told you it would come back to haunt you, TJ.
But like shit like that, there's fucking awful Disney rumors, and like now you have like the new like Disney kids who are just like go back to just to find this thing. I got the VHS that has the old things. Like, no, you don't. That shit's not real. Get the fuck over it, type of thing. Like, come on. Like nobody's done it unless it is a disgruntled editor. I didn't know about the Rescuers Down Under thing.
Can I? Well, you didn't know about Rescuer Spirit, but
I just didn't know that existed.
can I add a note? Like, people are very obsessed with Disney. Legit scare me. Like,
Oh, they're the worst.
grown adults that always are.
Worst.
They scare me. Like,
I
I
used
to
would
wanna go-
legit go up to a gangbanger before I would go up to a Disney.
Someone with Mickey Mouse ears on. I used to want to like If I ever got a girlfriend, I was like, hey, we should go to Disney one time. Now I'm like, I don't want to be that couple that goes to Disney when you're fucking like mid-30s and you're
Grown
not
adults
married
with no kids at Disney.
yet.
You
Yeah.
could go once if you want. Like take a fucking picture, eat a churro that costs $45, whatever. But like every
Like-
single year,
Like grown adults whose personality is Disney. That's like
Yes,
any
no,
family.
Guys,
So,
guys,
like,
I have to share something with you
Sports team.
off the air here about that just came into my life over the weekend.
So let's TJ cut here.
No, it's not worth the cut.
no, don't oversell it.
Yeah, but the Disney has a lot of myth, but because I think there is that there. I mean, you hear one of those Disney people fucking talk about the Haunted Mansion, and there's a billion myths around that when you actually get to the park stuff.
Yeah.
Want to have their
One
ashes
that I think like those it's still kind of told as like real, but I'm pretty sure it was debunked. Was in the Poltergeist how they use the real human skeletons in the
Shit, I forgot about that.
I think some of them were real. They just borrowed them from university, something like that.
University,
something like that. And then I'm pretty sure that's one of those ones where they were like, that's actually is really common practice. Like someone like a set director was like, yeah, that's in the lore because there's other haunting things around that movie. But they're like, skulls, like, we take skulls like that all the time and put them in things. You can't, we're not going to cast a bunch of different fucking skulls for the set on a certain shit. So it's interesting how like things get manipulated or they twisted. Like there's a great series on Shudder about.
Dude, are you promoted by Shudder? I'm starting to think there's a side deal here.
Man.
Cut us in, bro.
I got you guys. Use our promo code Flyover, and you get 2 months of Shudder for free. No, but there's that. But I wish Each Real Hollywood Stories were like easy to find and like actually like out there, because they had a better produced docuseries of haunted like movies and like myths than even the Shudder one. Like it was a little more in depth of like the Poltergeist and the Exorcist.
Yeah. That was on VH1. The Behind the Music also had a great docuseries about things that happen behind the music. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Any more myth?
Yeah, it's a fun topic. I think this is like. There's not any more myth, but it's kind of like I like what TJ brought up though, because that is just a Disney myths is a floodgate of.
Yeah.
There's no other studio that has that myth.
In like 20 years, Marvel has a bunch of myths about like fucking crazy shit going on.
You know, it's going to be like Chadwick Boseman actually.
Careful.
Marvel gave him cancer on purpose to get him out of the way.
They're going to come out I think a modern day one for us, and it's not even modern because it's over a decade old, is The Dark Knight has a lot of myths that will last for the days of time, right? Like the one that's very debunked is, well, the movie made Heath Ledger kill himself. That's why it's like, no, he was
so dark. He got so deep into his
it's
character
like, no,
that he killed himself.
Yeah, and it's like he was already like 2 movies deep after that film was done filming. Do you guys not know how movies are filmed?
Yeah.
Like the trailer for The Dark Knight was out, or but that's one that will never go away. Oh, Heath Ledger died from doing that. It's, Brandon Lee's one of them. That's just a tragedy.
Oh yeah, there was the myth that you can actually. I remember as a kid. That's so morbid, actually. Now that I think about it, as a kid trying to pinpoint the shot where he died.
Yeah, but it's not where you think it is. Everybody always thought it was in the part where he's getting shot at and he's on the table and there's all that gunfire going on. But it's actually when Fun Boy shoots him.
Fuck. God damn
Talk about fun, huh? How about we do a fun game?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Is it about the death of Brandon Lee?
Yeah.
No, it's about
Brandon Lee.
It's about the death of this podcast.
Oh, it happened a while ago.
No, this is just a little game.
Harrison's keeping us on life support, guys. He's watching our content. He's listening to us on Spotify.
Has he liked and subscribed, though?
I was going to say, I hope he's giving us 5 stars. You know, you can rate in-app, Harrison. Just make sure you do that.
We might have to start abusing.
Just Harrison, nobody else, please.
But, yeah. So this little promo also, we just did a worst of the worst bracket, which will eventually be out.
Yeah.
For all of our Flyover.
already?
For all the movies of Flyover. And so this is a game. And guys, like usual, just wait till I finish the sentence and then say your name.
Brian.
It's my poor descriptions of some of the movies we've watched. So
are these from the worst of the worst list, or is this all encompassing?
It's just random. Some worst the worst, some not.
All right, when he says something boring, it's Brazil. FYI, guys. Wink, wink. Start.
Okay. So I think you're not. All right, you ready? Set.
About society.
Are you ready for the Flyover game? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Robert De Niro has a sweet stash in that movie, though.
Question 1. You're not Peter Weller.
Brian,
yes.
RoboCop 3.
Yes.
We're talking about RoboCop 3 so much. Should we do it again?
All right.
Again?
Sure. All right, next. It's like Scream, but not.
TJ.
Yusuf.
Urban Legends.
Yes.
Fuck.
All right. Mandy for the dumb.
TJ.
Yes.
Fuck. God damn it. Drive Angry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I thought about that. I was like, nah, that's not it.
All right. Still just not for me.
Yusef.
Yes.
Harold and Maude.
No.
Brian.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Ah, that was, yeah. So
All right.
obvious.
All right. No. God, no. No. Not him.
Yusef.
Yes.
Troll Hunter.
No.
Brian,
This is more my review. Brian, yes.
It's the gnome named Norm.
Yeah.
Because I could hear the G's. He was no.
All right. So next
Brian's
question. But why don't they just like meet up sooner instead of waiting 3 years? This is dumb, but I'm horny.
Yusef.
Yes.
Lake House.
Yes.
And I'm horny.
All right. So they're gonna fuck?
Brian.
Yusef.
Brian.
Splice.
No.
Oh.
Yusef.
Yes.
Harold and Maude.
Yes. All right. So right now, Brian with 3, Yusuf with 3, TJ with 1. All right. So women be crying.
TJ.
Yes.
Monster Squad.
Yusef.
No. Yusuf, what you got?
Moonstruck.
Nah. It's a Flyover reference and a movie reference.
Brian,
TJ.
throw something in the air.
Brian, you get last thing,
Get a
and
free
then
shot at this one. I got nothing though. I'm not. It's a bad
women
clue.
be crying.
TJ.
Oh, you already lost. Fuck you.
Oh, I thought it was the second round.
I got nothing.
Oh.
All right,
Black Christmas.
it's a league of their own.
There's no crying in baseball. I get it.
Yeah, but like,
wasn't a
get
good
it? It wasn't a good one. All right, my last question.
Hard.
The last question, which is a tiebreaker. I'm just gonna watch Cobra Kai.
Yusef.
Yes.
Sidekick.
Yusuf is our winner.
Solid.
God damn it. And with that,
I just watched like the first 3 episodes of Cobra Kai. It's pretty good.
It's so fucking good. God damn it.
I called it that this thing would fucking blow up when it hit Netflix.
It's so good. It's so good. With that being said, with that game ending on one of my bad movie picks, it's my week. And I did it. I made the boys watch.
Finally pulled the trigger.
I did it. I didn't want to save it for any like special episodes. Who knows if we'll get to 100 or even 65.
After that.
Whoa.
I threw it on him. I hit him with the Howard. I hit him with the duck. And the boys watched it. So, I mean, without further ado, let's get into it. What'd you guys think? Who has anyone
Can you
seen
give us a synopsis?
Sure. This movie was brought to you by George Lucas, as it tells you right off the bat. We get a little rundown of Howard. Yeah. We get a little rundown of Howard and his planet.
This was this the canary in the coal mine before the prequels? Was this like
Absolutely. You like get a taste of his humor, what he thinks is like a riot, and that's Jar Jar Binks.
You get Howard in his beautiful apartment. He's
they start in Duck. We get about 5 minutes of Duck World, but we get
Duck World
2
is sick.
titty shots.
Beautiful.
They made sure to get again, like we're getting a lot of ideas of what George Lucas is like thinks is important.
Looks
He
like
knew
Jim
he didn't want Leia to wear a bra, and he knew that he needed to see duck titties.
Was Jim Henson's shop like, you sure you want like cookies?
wait, you want well with feathers, right? No. Nipples? You want
nipples.
You want nipples?
Feathers and nipples, guys.
Oh.
Those rock hard silicone filled 80s boob duck job.
I mean,
That's true. That's true.
Wait.
They were very of their era, weren't they?
Are we supposed to laugh or
She's about to
take out the
diddle
lotion?
herself. She's about to like, too.
Yeah, what was she
Like,
reading?
no.
Like, I didn't pay attention. Was she reading Cosmo? And I'm sure there was some lame duck pun. Don't tell me what it was. Why does Duck World have so many duck puns? Like, we don't live in a world where everything is a pun about being a human. You know what I mean?
Every
Like,
one of their
it's
last names
fucking
Duck,
stupid.
because it's Howard Duck. So
Also,
there's
what
not
does
everyone-
breeders of the Lost Ark mean? Because like ducks breed, like everything breeds. What does breeders of the Lost Ark mean?
All right, you're
I mean if we're gonna dive into that, she also pulls out I'm sorry, TJ, I know you haven't even
You're
finished
good.
your synopsis. She also
dollar
pulls
bill.
out
No, we're
a
in-
dollar
we're in-
bill with George Washington as the duck, right?
Yeah.
So does that mean there's Abraham Duck and also Abraham freed the slaves?
Yeah,
ducks in
there,
this?
there,
actually
there are
a
black
freak-
ducks. There are
It's
black
a
ducks.
freak-
We don't
it's a
see any in
freak-
this movie.
Nope.
You do.
You
Yeah,
see
there are.
one. You see one in the apartment building.
Yep.
It's a
thought-
How dare he
precursor.
go in there?
I saw
Hey,
some with
listen.
a horseshoe of like different feathers. I didn't.
Hey, listen, it's-
wait. So what does
Ah.
Jim Crow is in this duck world? What's Jim Crow? You know.
Oh, no. it's another duck pun, I guess. I don't know.
Probably a crow. But is this a precursor to the alternate timeline from Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes also? Because that's the type of shit that's in Duck World.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like Abraham Lincoln Duck exists.
Oh my God! Yes, I forgot that it ends with Ape Lincoln.
Ape
Get it?
Lincoln.
Ape
Lincoln, that movie.
Yeah,
He's on a
yeah.
roll.
Oh,
So
go ahead, TJ.
yeah,
What is-
TJ, I just before we really like roll, I do want us all to
Already
give our
rolling.
positives of the movie.
No. Synopsis, and then
Now,
because
let teacher finish
we
this out.
hijacked this synopsis.
Yeah, we're
So
in
we
a
got
duck
off
world.
Duck World. The first 5 minutes of the movie, we got through that.
Yeah, we're in a duck world, and he's sitting in his chair reading a play duck, which is a play on the Playboy, and then he gets sucked to Earth, and that's the synopsis. What do you want me? That's
And then what
it.
happens when he gets to Earth?
He leaves. He lands on Cleveland.
Yeah, give us a breakdown.
God damn it! And then he runs into Leah
Girl.
Thompson.
Try to
And then
find
she's
a
a
way.
girl.
Was this a movie originally set in like 80s New York? Why is Cleveland so badass? Has anybody gone to
You
Cleveland?
guys
It's
from there?
fucking
Tell
boring.
us.
Yeah, I've lived in Cleveland. I didn't
No,
live
it's-
there, but I've been to Cleveland a bunch of
It's
times.
very brown. It's
Yeah,
not
it's not
dark.
special.
No. Get it?
Brown.
Because of the Browns.
No,
Oh,
Worst.
gotcha. You're the
I'm
worst.
gonna do bad jokes because this fucking movie sucks, TJ.
You actually get some great actors in it, though. You get the
Oh my God.
start of Shawshank Redemption.
In his worst role,
Back to the
Oh,
Future.
yeah.
I generally think Tim Robbins like ruins this movie. I know that's a
He's
stretch.
really bad. Yeah, he's really bad.
Like he's not a fun character. He's like a creep too. He's like, oh, I just showed up. I missed your set, babe, but I get to see you change.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but that girl is gorgeous. Also, the
Yeah,
band,
they all are. Holly
cherry
Robinson
bombs. Yeah.
too.
Also,
Ah,
they show them playing like in a cage, but like the crowd's pretty civil. Like it's not like in Roadhouse, like
yeah.
throwing
no,
shit.
that cage is just for aesthetics. They're not. That's not a bad
Leah Thompson at her hottest. That is the best thing about this movie.
Oh,
bro.
for sure.
Back to the Future. In that dress when she's about to get. Sorry.
When she's yeah. They got stage makeup.
Or the fact that she meets Howard in the first 5 minutes, invites him right back to the apartment, knowing he's just probably a mutated something or an alien. She's like, "Hey, do you have any place to go?" He's like, "If I did, I'd be there." And she's like, "Come with me." Movie star.
How does he survive that travel in space? Like he's like free balling space.
Isn't that tunnel? Whatever that tunnel is that Jeffrey Jones makes. What's his name?
Oh, pedophile.
Pedophile.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
That's actually his legal name now. That's part of the new sex offender laws. They make you change your name to pedophile.
Yeah. The body horror though in that at the end with him is disturbing.
Yeah, it's good makeup. It's a horrible voice though.
Yeah. It's all right makeup, and like again, that's the same thing with Howard. The effects on Howard are pretty shitty. Like Howard is like the Howard head is on the level of like the mask at the Halloween store with the animatronic mouth. Like
it's
the
when
shit barely moves. His eyes blink and go left and right, but that's about it. He doesn't have like a lot of expression in his eyes.
Well, the head size changes when when it's the
there's
little
different
person.
Actors, yeah, there's different actors in the body. Like, you can tell like the whole way he carries himself will change, and the shoulders like get real slight and stuff.
Can I give you a fun fact? There's 8 registered offender. I mean, no, sorry, I'm still in Jeffrey. There's 8 people accredited as Howard.
Jesus.
2 of them are famous in that. One of them is Chucky.
He's one of Ed Gale. That's right, legend. Ed Gale.
And the other one is the little guy from In Bruges.
Oh shit!
Also, I think some of the people listed there might be puppeteers too, because there's like some. There is some when they strip Howard and that his weird duck body standing there. That is one of the worst effects I've ever seen.
I just had a moment because in Howard and in A Gnome Named Norm, they do that to both the characters that are staying. I think that you said this is Henson, right?
I think this is Jim Henson,
and the other one,
or it's ILM. No, it's George. It's ILM. But anyway, so apparently it took 2 weeks to do the feathers to go.
The feathers come up.
Yeah, probably the easiest effect you could have.
Do you know ducks have corkscrew penises? That probably would have been awful for Leah Thompson.
Yeah, but she busted out like a huge condom, so he probably has like huge.
Yeah, he's not that small. Where like they gave him a tiny wang, and it's a loose condom too. Like what was he gonna do with that?
Don't shit.
Provide his own lube. Would provide his own lube.
How? But this is pre-COVID. Like people weren't sanitary. Like that is not sanitary. That he's gonna have a
bird flu.
What was bird flu in Duck World?
That's what I'm saying.
So, I don't know. This movie is so goddamn long. Like it's so goddamn. I have a note.
That is like my only note about this movie is that like if it was 90 minutes, it would be like a fine throwaway trash like movie, kind of the way TJ enjoys it now. I would be fine with that. But the fact, like, he gets to the Earth, and then the first half hour, 40 minutes is just like nothing. He meets Leah Thompson. He wanders around. Like, here's what should have happened: the same jolt that brought him from Duck World also should have infected what's his face with the Dark Overlord. Then simultaneously you have him getting into Leah Thompson, and you have the Dark Overlord taking over, and then you just hurry up and get to the fucking climax. And this would be a fine throwaway like dumb effects movie, but it's 2 damn hours long.
I have so a couple of years ago we watched it because we love doing like so bad it's good movies and this and that before we knew TJ. And I remember being like, when it starts, I'm like, I'm in. This is gonna be fun. Like, it really has that vibe. Like, this is gonna be. Like, I'm
But it
in. I
kicks
know
you
how
in the
bad it's
butt
gonna
right
be.
away.
But then it, like, Brian, it just comes to this halt. It's so boring. Even the chase scene is so boring. Like, not like the fun shit is like, doesn't make sense in the movie, but like Howard going to like the bathhouse to work.
Yeah.
He's in town for like 18 hours, and he's like, gotta get a job. Like
Dude,
that's kind of fun.
and that's the other thing. That's
Also,
job.
why
What?
didn't
This is
the
a
movie
PG
needed to
movie.
commit? The movie needed to commit to one way people react to Howard. They either
Yeah.
need to react, like not react to the joke needs to be that like there's no reaction and they just are like, yep, a small talking duck, whatever, or that everybody is like, what the fuck is going on with this duck? Why are we not like addressing the duck?
And they all have to say, great costume.
Yeah. So dumb.
It's an
But
awesome.
yeah,
Shark's costume.
this movie is a PG movie, and
Who's it for? That's my number one.
and that's like it opens with a STD joke where they're selling ointment for the crotch, and Howard the Duck scratches his crotch like, yeah, I have it. The boobs,
Yes, I have duck crabs. in case you were
yes,
wondering.
duck boobs. Leah Thompson tries to fuck him, and he works at a.
To be fair, I
brothel,
think that
I
Leah
guess.
Thompson thing, I think I want to push back on that. It's pretty
It's a joke,
clear
but still.
on a rewatch that she is like she's because of his machismo bullshit, she is like calling him out and kind of calling his
Yeah,
bluff, and he does
but
fold. So I think,
But it doesn't make a lick
but
of sense
still,
because
it's a
he's
PG
like,
movie. And
but
she's
yeah, it's definitely
playing
horny
with
for a
no
PG
bra,
movie for sure.
hitting on
he's
the
like,
duck.
but he's like, oh my god, he's like having a meltdown when Leah Thompson's like, we're gonna do this, and then like later
I wanna
on, he's
see
like,
it.
I'm gonna eat that ass to that one lady. Like he can't, he's like losing his
He does
shit.
almost reach up and bite that lady's ass. Like, what was that about?
Yeah, like so it's just
I'm gonna
so
feed you my
TJ
curly fry.
so TJ, it's just so. I don't want to be like, this was the worst movie ever. It's not. It's just so tonally all over the place. Even Howard as a character goes from
Yeah.
like a bitch to then like the toughest guy in the world to, it's
know what I-
very.
you
He
know what I
does
like
quack
in
flu,
Howard,
except
too?
when he doesn't. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
can kick people's asses, except when he can't. He's
That's
like,
the thing. I liken him to like Marty McFly, when like someone calls him
Oh,
a chick and he's like, "You call me what?" And you expect this big machismo moment, and he just like nothing
very
happens. Yeah, like maybe he gets
music.
lucky and
also,
runs
he
away.
almost banged Marty's mom. That's another connection.
One thing I
Yeah.
noticed on this. she
Oh,
has
in
that
the last scene, he's playing like the guitar and doing the dance.
That's the special features of this movie are like 20 minutes of talking about how there's like Ed Gale and then a kid and then someone else playing Howard the Duck, and then the other one is how they spent half of their budget teaching Leah Thompson and the other girls how to play instruments and sing.
Yeah, I was reading a thing where it was like they didn't think Leah Thompson, like they didn't know up till the very end
Yeah.
if they were going to leave in Leah Thompson's vocals or not, and they ended up leaving them in. And she
I think
sounds
that
alright.
the song's pretty good.
Oh man, some of the songs are so hype.
Also, this is probably not an original joke, so sorry if I stole it from somebody else. Like, this is a Marvel movie. I don't know if we mentioned that before.
Yeah, the
And it has
first
a
one.
sky beam, or an equivalent to a sky
Oh, it
beam.
does, yeah.
And they
You're right.
fucking did that like pretty much for the rest of the MCU almost. Like every single movie had a sky beam.
I was just laughing because it's in fucking Rise of Skywalker too, and I was like, we're still doing sky beams after like it's been 3 years since people started making like when Fantastic came out, we were already making fun, and that's like 3 years ago. And
Yeah,
now you
that
guys are
was-
still like, what's our big finale? I don't know, Skybeam, I guess.
Straight from the
This-
sky, bro.
This actually movie, I think, has the same. You mentioned before Fan Four Stick. I have the same Fan Four Stick where it's just like boring and like not like. I hate saying
That's
that because
close.
from TJ. It's just boring and not good. Where like you would, because you're like, it's so bad. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be so bad. It's good. I'm gonna love to watch it. I want to watch this. Like have beers.
If
And
this
this
was
become-
90 minutes long,
This
it
was
would
90 minutes.
Yes.
I would have been like, this is a perfect game to have a perfect movie to have a movie drinking game with and just really fucking enjoy yourself. But the 2 hours where you're just like, I don't care about Tim Robbins. Get
Yeah.
out of my face.
Dude, I have a note that says I was watching the movie, right? And the pedophile comes in and interrupts the fake sex scene. And we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna take you back home. And I was like, okay, we're reaching the end. And I checked the fucking time, and it was only 15 minutes in. Like, and something was in. I was like, what is gonna happen? Like, they're already trying to figure out how to get him back. Yeah, it was it.
Yeah, well, like because
I
passively knew that Jeffrey Jones was the villain of the movie. When he showed up at that 16, I was like, oh no, this is bad. But I didn't realize we are going to introduce him, and we're going to have like a thing where he's a good guy and he's going to help us, and then he's going to get. I was like, oh man, there's so much shit to get through in this movie.
Some other fun facts I have about Howard too is that George Lucas was supposed to make an animated movie. This is supposed to be an animated movie.
Yeah.
And then he was contractually obligated to do a live action one. So he said, "Oh, I guess I'll do that version, or pimp it out, or however."
So we do know the guy's name, Cuck. The guy's name who directed this movie is literally the sound that Goofy makes.
What do you think took longer, getting that Howard makeup on or doing Leah Thompson's hair? Like
Leah Thompson's hair.
It was a lot of like
hair. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit on that fucking hair.
Leah Thompson's hair. My personal friend, Leah Thompson.
Oh boy.
We follow each other on Twitter. My personal friend.
Wow, I'm actually jealous of that. Legit jealous of that.
From the Howard the Duck, when week 2 of Flyover, when we hit viral.
Yeah.
She followed me of that account, and
I bet she regrets it.
She probably does not.
I bet she's stoked with all your Jets and Mets tweets.
I'm convinced that anybody over 1,000 followers who follows me just mutes me immediately, and they're just trying to get a follow back.
Yeah.
Caroline in the city, baby. Oh, she's also in Jaws 3.
Shout out she is.
Jaws 3. And all the Back to the Futures. And some other shit, too. She's been in. Anything else on Howard the Duck Boys other than that?
Come on, yeah.
I like the stop motion animation of the villain, like the monster. It was good. That was smart.
Except for the penis tongue.
No, I mean when he like becomes like the fucking H.P. Lovecraft monster, and then
this movie had like
big gaping maw of a face.
This movie, I do want to bring up because TJ mentioned earlier, he was like Marty McFly. This movie had big Robert Zemeckis vibes. Like the score is like a Back to the Future.
It's got a great score. I got to give it that.
No, TJ, what I want to tell you is that this movie isn't like, it's not. There's a good movie in here somewhere, kind of like Brian said, in the sense of like edit this better and like structure it, where I think it would not have the history it have, because the Duck itself is not like, it's watchable.
I feel like if this didn't have the history it has, it's not watchable. It ends up in like, what's that movie Brian was like joking about me like making you guys watch? It was like
oh yeah, the whatever that I saw at the video store and it was like
and I'm like
or something like.
If Howard didn't have the reputation it has, it would definitely fall into like just like maybe someone like me would find it and like
it'd be a no-name norm.
Exactly.
Streets of Fire would be this for sure.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But
the only person that likes William Dafoe and fucking Diane Lane, that goddamn movie.
Oh, everyone likes Diane Lane. Let's pump the brakes.
All right, my bad.
Everybody likes.
Diane Lane's been on Flyover a couple times. She's a good manager.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is it, right?
But TJ, what do you have to add about Howard the Duck?
Yeah, why the fuck did you make us watch this shit?
What is it that you love about it?
Yeah, can you just like
it's like one of those movies I watched as a kid. Like my dad would like throw it on. My dad had this weird thing about him. I don't know if it's just the way we both are wired, but like same thing. Like he's the one that introduced me to No Name Norm. He's the type of guy that like goes into a fucking movie store and goes, "My kid might like this," and just like grabs it off the shelf, knowing absolutely nothing about what it's on it, and just throws it on. And me and him sit down, and obviously my dad was a stoner. So he probably was high as shit, sitting there with me watching it, just and loving it. And I see his enthusiasm. I'm like, yeah, this movie's the shit. Like that was Howard to me. But like I've watched it over the years. Obviously, I didn't have cable for a while here, so I did rewatch it a couple times in Chicago.
Couple times.
It's only
Yeah,
been like a month.
yeah,
He said 8
because I
hours.
mean,
He's just like trying to kill time, and this is
yeah,
long.
yeah. This
Damn.
movie
He's
definitely
rotated out this and Gone with the Wind.
Well, you're nostalgic for it, but like,
but
like,
I
what do you
understand
enjoy
for it.
about it?
But to be fair, though, there are the moments where I'm like, this movie's way too fucking long. But what I do love about it is obviously the puppetry. The Duck World was like a big thing for me growing up. It's like I don't know if it was the boobs or not.
They're so briefly. That's what I was like.
Yeah,
Duck World.
but
Aside
they're-
from the terrible puns, I would like to see more of Duck World.
yeah.
After you're done, I have another question.
Oh yeah. And I also think about the relationship between him and Leah Thompson just like mirrored for me like an Elliot and E.T., like a Mac and fucking the kid in the wheelchair. Like
yeah,
there was
Elliot tried to fuck E.T.
yeah. But also
Ellie didn't try, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, use that finger, Elliot. Oh.
Fun fact: Jeffrey Jones was the original puppeteer for E.T.
shit, yeah.
Lumen. Lumen. Sorry, now we're just sorry.
Go ahead, Joe. What was you gonna say about it?
Was this one of those famous movies that ended with the like Howard will return
I think it
in
had
theaters or something? Like it had a title card to be like, "There's gonna be a sequel, guys, so get fucking ready."
Obviously, get psyched for more Howard
I
the
don't-
Duck.
Like after watching this
I have one
and
other
thinking-
fact.
and
that I
thinking-
remember.
and thinking back on the shitty version that James Gunn plugged into Guardians of the Galaxy, why the fuck do people want a new Howard the Duck movie?
All he was like
I mean,
a
he's
funny
a fun-
guy. Nothing. He just like
Yeah,
drank a
well,
martini. It
the
wasn't
comic
anything
back
special.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
a
day.
funny
Apparently,
gag.
he's in Endgame too.
It's
Like, it's a funny
gag.
gag, but why do people legit like?
Because
No,
people
like-
suck. People
The
are
comic
like,
back in the
People
day
find
had a
the
lot
most
of, like-
obscure thing to be a fan of because they're looking for something different than everybody else. So they're
Don't-
like,
don't-
I like
don't-
the Howard
don't
the Duck
throw
comics.
shade at
I want to
TJ.
be
He's
true to
right
the
there,
comics
man.
because they're so good. Like, no, they're not.
No,
Very
I'm saying, like the
far.
comic
Stop
back in the
throwing shade at
'70s,
TJ.
like
He's right here. Don't you
yeah,
don't
well,
have
the
to.
comic was like about like social justice back in the '70s and like using Howard the Duck as like
a
like-
mouthpiece for.
yeah, exactly, and like stuff like that. But then like over the years, he had a resurgence with like when Marvel Now came out, which is like a new Marvel, like the DC 52 Marvel Now was like the new one of that, where he was like a private eye, where he just came to Earth and just like signed up as a private eye to like help people out. Shout out the
So,
episode I made Black Widow and him ride cross country with each other. But regardless,
so this movie is responsible partially in a way for Pixar. George Lucas kind of bankrupted himself a little bit from this and had to sell parts of ILM off to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs used that money to create the Pixar computer.
Nice.
the Mac.
No, there was a different. Pixar is from a computer. And that's anyway, but that's like partially like, you know, if you want to connect those
Don't bring
dots.
knowledge.
Like
The
that.
dominoes all had to fall into place, and this was one of them.
So
Hey man,
All right, you said
this is when I say, if you're an atheist, you're fucking wrong because clearly this is God's work.
hit it.
I
It's
thought
a
you were going to
bus-
say,
Yeah, that's
you
all I
know what
can
time?
say.
You know what time it is?
Oh, 8:53 on my end.
It's 7:50. Yeah, it's 8:53.
9:53 for Brian and I.
9:53. This
I mean-
means we're running kind of long. I wish we would get to the ratings phase already.
All right, Joe, you start this off, baby.
Yeah. So this is boobs.
How many? Sorry, you cut out. How many?
Sorry.
Point,
Two-
Joe.
Great point,
two-
though.
2.3 duck boobs.
Oof, god damn it, Joe.
That's less
What?
than's in the movie. There's 4 in the movie.
Yeah,
I thought it was a high rating for
it's
like
like
it,
No Name Norm got better ratings. Brian,
nah, no name Norm. I think the only like one that's ever been given out.
Ugh.
This isn't the worst. I mean,
I'm gonna go back and see our ratings in that movie because I bet nobody gave it more than a 1.
You know what, TJ? I'll give you a 3.1 duck boobs because I think we were able to talk about it a lot more, and it's, as I said, not as terrible when you bring up something like Norm. So
I'm kind of into that 0.1 boob. What's up?
Yeah, like I think, like I said, I think there's some bones here you could build a watchable movie out of. But this just ain't it. This shit had me falling asleep by the end. It was rough. So yeah, I'll stick with Joe. I'll give it like 3 because there was some promise there and definitely some effort put in. It's just very bad execution.
No pun. This movie was all puns. Like you have no pun.
This movie made me
fantastic. It was awesome.
Ducky.
Why'd she do that? Why'd she keep just saying Ducky?
Because
it's cute. Term of
endearment, dude.
Yeah, it's cute.
Jeez.
I've got a fucking name, as he should say.
I'm gonna give this movie. Oh no, Yusuf, you should go. Right.
I'm gonna give it 3. Howard the Duck, more like Howard the Suck. Out of 10.
That's fucked up, bro.
See, I did a pun like they did because they're comedic writers.
I'm gonna give this a 5 because whenever anyone ever mentions Marvel movies, this will forever come up, no matter what. It's one of those things where everyone goes, Marvel has like one of the best cinematic archives of all time, and just go, Howard the Duck, baby. And that's it.
Don't forget about that Man-Thing movie they made in 2006 too.
Fan 4 stick.
Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. All right. Regardless, I give this a 5 Howies all day, every day. I love this fucking movie, regardless how long it is. It'll forever hold a place in my heart. Who's next?
So an average of
forever
like
nest in your heart, huh?
Get the fuck out of here.
There's the pun boy at.
That was foul.
Oh, damn.
Duck.
No.
Brian, are you gonna actually pick a good movie, or what the fuck is gonna happen now?
I don't know, because I'm tempted to just like start batting for the bottom and try to beat TJ at his own game, but
you've been doing great though.
I do have something in mind this week, guys. We all love The Matrix, right?
No,
Matrix is a great movie. The first one, even
not even.
I have an affinity for the first.
We
Matrix.
love Keanu. He was the one.
He doesn't like good movies. Don't stop saying that.
Keanu. His name in that movie was Neo, and he was the one. And
Jet Li.
One was an anagram for Neo, and we all thought that was very clever. But maybe there's another one we need to revisit. Yusuf, you're right on the money, my man.
Yes.
Jet Li's the one.
Yes. Let's fucking go.
It's been too long since we brought martial arts back to the Flyover team.
Flyover State of Martial Arts is some of the best ones.
And I'll tell you what, this is a movie that like I haven't seen in a long time, but I definitely thought was good. So we're gonna have some fun.
I bet it sucks, but fuck it, it's Jet Li. Yes.
Jet Li's the one.
Jet Li's the one.
All right, where can the people find you, Joe?
You can find me at Chendang01, just being a sad sports fan and talking more about movies recently because I'm a sad sports fan.
Brian.
Yeah, you can watch me going, what? You mean sports ball during every major sporting event? Because that's so clever and very funny. At Hercules on Twitter.
TJ.
You guys are on Flyover State of Film YouTube right now. Check me out, TJ Dex on Twitter, talking about, I guess, sports now and movies and Erie, Indiana. Erie, Indiana is the shit.
That's right. No sports, all Erie, Indiana, guys.
Movies.com. Bye.
Bye.